Today is Christmas Eve. I woke up to some great news today that YouTube had removed all of my poker videos. Quite the early present. But there's no reason for that to get us down on such a great holiday. We're gonna do what anybody would do on Christmas Eve in Las Vegas. Friends, family, presents? I don't think so. I think it's better to go to the Bellagio and play a little 2-5 no limit Texas Hold'em cash game. I don't know if this will ever be uploaded onto YouTube, if my channel has been wiped of all of its content, but let's do it for the vlog. 2-5 no limit, 500 max buy-in. Our goal is $2,000. Let's capture that chip porn in about 4 hours. A magical feeling in the air at Bellagio, a feeling in which I am a minority. 40-year-old Caucasian male, definitely not the majority. On Christmas Eve at the Bellagio.
Hi, welcome to the game. You got player starts with you?
Yeah. Time to step away from the action, take a little breather. Let's talk about some poker hands. I am in the Bellagio Sportsbook. Might look familiar from Andrew Nemi videos. Pretty good place to relax and talk about some poker. So let's get into it. 50 to 60-year-old Caucasian gentleman limps in early position for $5. I'm in middle position with King, Queen offsuit. Make it 20 to go. We both have about $500 to start the hand. Action folds back to him and he puts in the call. The flop comes 8-3 deuce. He's supposed to check to me, but he does not do that. He leads right into me. What's he repping? A set? I find that hard to believe. It's time to put him to the test. I block pocket queens and pocket kings, and I'm halfway there on both of them. There's no reason I couldn't have kings or queens, so let's rep it. I make it $75 to go. He thinks about it and puts in the call, not the desired result. The turn brings a 4, which completes his hands such as ace-5 and pocket 4s, which are a concern. He checks it over to me and it's time to do the implied turn bet, setting up a river jam. I'm repping an overpair. Let's continue with the story. I bet $125. He thinks for about 5 seconds and folds. We just earned $100. Feels good, man. About 30 minutes later, we have a new player on our right, and a real action player who claims he plays the Red Rock 2-5 game with a $3,000 buy-in. I didn't know that's a thing, but that's what he's repping. He limps. I'm next to act with ace-4 of diamonds. Time to raise it up to 20. Action folds to the button, who makes it $60 to go. He's repping a lot of strength. Action folds back to us, and we have a decision to make. I started this hand with about 600. Button has 500. I'm not in the mood to fold on Christmas Eve, so our options are call or 3-bet to around like $170. Rep aces, maybe ace-king. I eventually just put in the call, And the flop comes ace, jack, 6, 2 spades. I check it over to my man, and he c-bets as he would do with all of his holdings, $45. Not much choice here other than call and proceed on future streets. The turn is the ace of spades. We got trips, but the flush draw came in there. He only has a few hands that he'd be 3-betting that would make a flush on the turn, such as king, queen of spades, and he even might just flat that. After I check, he thinks about it and checks behind. Very reasonable to think that he's pot controlling with a hand like ace king, pocket queens, or pocket kings. When the river brings an offsuit queen, I'm thinking about blocker betting, really targeting exactly pocket kings, but even then, what hands am I bluffing with? So I decided it's better just to check it over to him and see what happens. He puts out a bet of $150. What's he repping? Pocket queens? Ace king? Ace queen? Is he turning pocket kings with the king of spades into a bluff? Calling doesn't feel very good. I briefly think about check jamming with my ace blocker, putting him in a horrible spot if he had a hand like pocket jacks, pocket queens, or ace king, because I'm repping hands that beat all those, specifically ace queen. I eventually put in the call, and he shows ace queen of clubs. Nice run out. Sure, I played this hand below average in general, but you live and you learn. Ask for a table change, because this table is very weird, I guess you could say. Not an enjoyable cash game table. It is nice to have the option to change tables, unlike tournaments. We're here at the Bellagio. We're in for $600 in the 2-5 no limit game. And we are back at the Bellagio Sportsbook Lounge. Let's go over a very exciting hand. With blinds at $2, $5, I'm in the cutoff with ace-4 of spades. Great time to raise it up to 15. Action folds to an Asian male in the big blind, age 21 to 50, who puts in the call. I'm sure he's gonna be defending somewhat wide here, not complete trash. People usually just give up their big blind against a raise with some real trash hands, unlike tournaments. When the flop comes 9, 6, 3, 2 clubs, 1 spade, I think it's a pretty good board to c-bet. We got some backdoor draws, and ace high might just be good. So I bet 15, and he puts in the call. The turn is a queen of spades, a beautiful card. Not only an over, in case we were just randomly betting with ace queen, king queen type hand we got there, it also brings us the nut flush draw. He checks to us again, and it's time to stay aggressive, earn some pots, and build some pots, so I make it $50. He thinks for about a minute, double checks his cards, and puts in the check raise to 150. What is he repping? Pretty thin. Pocket 3s, pocket 6s, maybe 9s. Maybe he doesn't 3-bet 9s pre. There are a lot of draws out there. Clubs, jack 10, 7, 8, 8, 10, 4, 5, 5, 7 of clubs. A lot of hands that he's going to play aggressively that he doesn't think is very profitable for him to just call out of position. So it might be good for him to take the initiative and put in the standard 3x check raise. Try to put all my 1 pair hands in a tough spot. Well, I don't even have 1 pair. I got the nut flush draw, plus ace high. We have position, we have 320 behind if we do make the call. So let's put in the call and see what happens on the river. The river is one of the best cards in the deck for us, a 9. I know what you're thinking, Boski. He could have trips now. Well, let's think about that. There's only 1 combo of pocket 9s. He's probably not defending with 9-3, maybe 9-6 suited. Queen 9? He shoves all in for $420, plays it. We have 320 and a decision. So in this spot, you have to think about their value combos versus their bluff combos. All the flush draws, all the straight and flush draws, and maybe even some naked straight draws would be great cards for him to barrel, because in my eyes, he can rep a 9 when I can't rep a 9 as well. So by him jamming, he can fold out all of the draws I picked up, such as jack 10, 10-8, King Jack. So many hands have straight and or flush draws. I eventually man up and put in the call. $1,000 pot with ace high. He shows queen 9 offsuit. His range was very polarized, and I guess that's one of the polarized hands that he can have. Congrats to this 21 to 50-year-old Asian male, and we reload for another $500. Win a few small pots, we're up to about $650. And then a guy at another table makes eye contact with me and says, "Boski." Gives me the nod. I know he's got to be a viewer of the vlog. A minute goes by, he goes, "Boski, check your Instagram." Sends me a message saying he's at a real juicy table. Get a seat as soon as possible. A few minutes later, a seat opens up. I do a table change, and we're in the game. A lot of action in this game. A lot of guys just clicking a lot of buttons. They can barely handle chips. Crazy sizings, crazy action. Let's hope we hit a hand.
I'm eavesdropping. What are your videos about that makes them dangerous?
Oh, I'm a dangerous poker player.
Oh, okay.
You know, I'm a little too risky for the average audience. They call me 3-bet Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't stop. It's like an addiction. I can't stop. If you don't gamble for 12 hours a day, I don't call it a good day.
Okay.
You know,
There you go.
that's my motto. A player who grabs his chips one at a time to assemble a bet, opens a middle position to $10. Some sort of young Asian reg, 3-bets the button to 40. I'm in the big blind with $500 and pocket 9s. Pretty easy flat call spot, even though our hand's pretty face up as far as hand strength. I'm only flat calling hands like ace queen, maybe ace jack suited, and a lot of mid to high pairs in this spot. Original recreational puts in the call. We got our eyes on him. The flop comes ace 9 6 2 spades. Bingo, we got it. I assemble a bet of $60 and I take it back in check and flow, doing the old fake bet. I don't want you to bet move, but it doesn't matter. Recreational does not check and flow either. He goes for the bet of $100. 3-better on the button folds, and it's back to me. Against a competent player, we just flat call and let him fire away, but this guy never folds. So we want to set it up for check raise with a turn jam. He's never going to fold an ace, so I hit him with the old school year 2000 check min raise, $200 to go. We're taking it to level 0 with this guy. He thinks about it and says 2 words, and they are all in. I beat him in the pot, ask for the hold. If a 4 of spades hits the turn, if he's got a flush, we need to boat up. It's likely holding is a flush. And the river is an ace. We boat up, we show our boat, and he shows us ace 6. His miracle 2-outer came through, and he wins over a $1,000 pot. Hey, did I win?
You win.
Oh, you won? Oh, okay. That's fun. Okay, I'm done. Good game. A horrible day just got worse. In for $1,200, out for $0. You guys wanted cash game vlogs. Here you go. I'm out.